What's up, guys? Welcome to Blake's Garage. We are in my living room right now, and I got a new addition that I'm gonna be mounting onto the wall. I figured I'd do a video on this because I didn't see a lot of videos online on the old generation or even the new generation. I'm gonna be installing an LG OLED Evo TV, and this is the gallery design. It doesn't come with a stand. It actually comes with a wall mount only, okay? So what's really cool is you can display art on this thing. It's super thin, sits on the wall, really flush, which is awesome. Self-lit OLED 2.0, has over 8 million self-lighting pixels on this bad boy. So it looks super bright. It doesn't look like any of the other TVs out there, honestly. Like, this thing just, it pops, in my opinion. My living room's kind of set up weird, and that's why I wanted to show this. We bought this at Crate Barrel the other day. Finally got it. If you guys are aware, furniture is super back ordered. The new couch going on and everything there, so that's cool. The living room's set up kind of weird because we have this. This is literally a window. It's kind of stupid. And then we got the fireplace here, which I was thinking about putting a TV here, but it's kind of limited on space. Really wouldn't be able to wire this up without seeing any wires unless we went from the top, because the fireplace, you know, has brick behind here and all that sort of stuff. This is an interior wall, which makes it easier for installing a in-wall power kit. Now, I'll leave a link down to this below. We'll be using this as well. It's actually like a reverse style of a plug. So basically power is not gonna come out of this one. You're gonna put power into it, so it's almost like an extension cord plug. If you have a power outlet, boom, just hop over a bay and they have a 6-foot cord right here. What's really cool about this TV, in my opinion, is the gallery design is what they call it. So it kind of looks like a frame, which is really nice. And if you guys have heard of the Samsung frame TV, that one's actually meant to look like art, and this one has an art mode as well. But I felt like the actual picture quality for the TV of that one was kind of lacking, in my opinion. It just didn't look the same as the LG. The LG pixels just pop on this TV. I don't know, every time I go into a place and I see one of these TVs, I'm like, ooh, ah, you know. Have a 4K TV in our bedroom, and it's not OLED, right? It's just LED, or LCD, I should say. And, you know, nothing fancy. I've never been like amazed by the TV. It was just like a $400 TV. You know what I mean? So this one I think is right at about $2,000 or something for the 55-inch. And you can get a 65, you can get a 77-inch, all that stuff. You can get the big boy, which is really cool. But I think, you know, sizing for your space is something that needs to be done appropriately. So 55 worked for us. Dun, 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 dun. This was the question that I also had. Very cool. With a sheetrock wall, super easy to do. Really easy to find the studs. Just like pound on the wall, and it feels more solid. You know you've hit a stud. I'm gonna be using a plethora of tools, but that's only because it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for me to get through the wall. You're literally gonna need a sheetrock saw. A push saw, boom, cut in a hole, you'll be done in like 2 minutes. Most of you guys will only really need a drill, a level, you know, maybe some drill bits and some screw gun tips. If you want to get a little bit more exciting, you know, an impact driver always helps. I'm probably going to be using the multi-tool because the multi-tool is freaking awesome. If you have one of these, it makes cutting into sheetrock or whatever super easy and accurate. Hoping to do it with that. If that doesn't work, we'll tape the area off, use the jigsaw, and kind of go to town. The upper hole in the wall literally needs to be this big. Basically just mark on the wall with a piece of painter's tape as to how high we want it. What TV comes with this little guide, right? So we'll put that up there. We'll kind of find our center. Take this up. So this is basically the mount area right here. So we gotta measure down from the little box on the wall and kind of figure that out. Power comes in right here. So cool. They recommend you do the big box. So if you guys are at home, I'll put a link down to that below. Because I have a plaster wall, I'm not gonna do that. If you have a newer house, I would recommend doing that. But we're not gonna do that because plaster and holes just isn't fun. So I'm happy with this height right here. Eyeball center this up. You could measure this out and draw a line, but feeling pretty confident with this line right here. We want to put a level on this, make sure it's nice and level. I'm gonna draw it on all the lines. The reason I'm doing this is because we can alter kind of where it goes just depending on the stud. We have a lot of options here, which is cool. It looks like it's about every 2 inches, which is great. So now we can kind of see what we got going on here. I got old school plugs. I'm not grounded in this house, which is super cool. Old electrical, right? Easy way to find a stud on a wall. Usually your box outlet, stud's either gonna be here or stud's gonna be here. And then depending on how your house is built, 12 inches on center, 16 inches on center, you're gonna find a stud. So we can go ahead and unplug this. Easiest way is to take the cover off. Use a thin screwdriver, poke to the side, see if you hit stud. If that side doesn't hit any stud, it feels open, go to this side. Also, you can knock. I think there's a stud on this side. All right, so I kind of measured this off this wall right here. And ideally, I should have stud right here where I kind of marked the X's. That's just kind of measuring off this stud here. 16ths on here. I could drill this out before, but if it has something that's gonna bite, I want it to bite. So you see this right here? Stud, right? I'm hitting wood. Right here to the left, wide open. See? Now this one, I just wanted to try it out too. I'm very close to a stud. I can actually, if you can get in there at kind of an angle, sometimes you'll open it up and you can feel the stud right there to the left. So we're within that range there. I'm gonna take this out again, and then we're gonna put in the ones that need the wall anchors, which are basically all these over here. I got my hammer. It's not really a hammer, but any good electrician knows freaking lineman pliers, it's a hammer. If you see an electrician with a hammer, I don't know. I don't know about that electrician, man. That's too many tools. It's all about the lineman pliers. I kid, but that's serious also. So we'll send this. Great. Let's go ahead and send this one in. I sent this one in at an angle, so I bit more stud. So let's zoom on out of here. We can rock climb on this bad boy, so that's good. So the box or the install guide comes with this little piece of cardboard. You might say, what the hell is that? Well, you actually fold it up. Oh my goodness, it has a little tabaroonie right here, and it makes a magical little box. Now, why would this be for? Well, what would this be for, I should say? You actually put it behind the wall here, and it's so that when you install the TV, this doesn't pop back against the wall, because we need something stationary. When we're holding this big 65-pound TV, we don't want this mount moving. They give you these little Post-it notes, which is cool on this particular TV. Basically, we gotta line these little titties, little nipples into these little spots right here. These little nips right here, these are gonna slide right in there. I'm marking out the box right now on the wall for the initial cut. This is a single gang box. You can literally buy just a single gang box cut out like this for low voltage if you'd like. You can get away with just 2 of these, but I do recommend getting the kit as it's a little bit cleaner. Make sure it doesn't, that way we can keep the piece. I'm gonna apply a little bit of pressure here, and then it shouldn't fall on the wall. Okay. Hopefully we can get this out. Now, I thought there was lath line here. There is not, which is good. It's interior wall. This actually looks like, yeah, it's actually sheetrock. So I have plaster on top of sheetrock, which is great. All right, so we got the cut-in box right here. You can see that now we're basically able to put it in there. It does have little ears, so we want to make sure that the ears go out deep enough. You can see that this is a hollow bay. So, you know, before you start cutting into the wall, you want to make sure on the back side you don't have an electrical outlet. If you do, you want to know where it's at. These wings are out, so the wings are gonna go invite, and now we know we're good. But we have an open chase, so we can easily get wires up and down the wall. Something you could do, put a tape measure in there or something. You could see we literally have 9 inches to the stud, to this way, to the left. And if we wanted to go to the stud this way, we got another stud 5 inches over to the right. So that gives us a good idea of kind of where we want to put our box. This little guy, right? So we have this recess box. Now, this TV would be more ideal with this big old box like I was talking about, but I don't want to cut that big of a hole in the wall. So, you know, I'm gonna give up this little teeny amount, like a 1/4 inch of flushness against the wall. I think it'll look fine. You know, if I'm noticing it on one side, I could like tilt the TV to the left, slightly tilt it to the right, that sort of thing. This is gonna get cut into the wall. Now, to give you a little template card, that's a template. Literally, you could see that if I cut out around this card with my multi-tool, it's gonna fit nice. We are going to be golden Chodius right there. Up the wall. Okay, so one thing, I do have one interior stud. Now, a good item about that is well, I have a hole that's big enough that I can drill a hole. I just drilled out a couple holes inside the wall. So I went ahead and kind of cut a little hole. You can see the hole right there. Now, hopefully what I can do is fit this piece. You know what? Come to think about it, this actually wires in, so you wouldn't actually have to put this whole piece to the hole. Now that I think about it, you could actually take it off, but whatever. I don't know why. I guess to me, it seemed easier at the time to put a giant hole in the wall. So now I'm gonna try to snake this through, and if I can't, I'll do what I just said I was gonna do, and I'll literally take the wire out from behind this electrical socket. Okay. Like a normal electrical outlet, you literally have the piece of Romex right here. So I'll go ahead and unwire that. Black goes on to the gold side always. So if you guys are unaware, it does actually matter. You know, it might seem like it doesn't. It works both ways, but black is the hot and it goes on the gold side, whereas the neutral goes on the silver. And the raw copper green, or green with the yellow stripe, goes on the green grounding screw. Okay, so you can see now, I'm gonna try to snake this up through the wall, sort of hook through the hole, or you can use a glow rod, which I have in the garage, but I was thinking maybe I can get lucky, stick my finger in there and get it. So I'm trying to get this 14.2 gauge Romex up the wall. It obviously would be easier to go down the wall, but my hole is not big enough. Right, we gotta get this little guy down. The head of this, a little bit too big for my hole. So, easiest way is to snake this up the wall. And if you have something that you can send down, honestly, that's gonna be pretty simple too. Like, I might even be able to just send down my tape measure, but having some sort of hook, like I made a little hook situation, let's try this. You know, I've never used a tape measure method, but it's very straight and tight. You can see, literally, I'm grabbing the tape measure, right? So if I tie something on, I've never done it with the tape measure. This is funny. So I think this will work no problem. I have a little hook in the end of my tape measure. This is gonna work great for you guys. I like this idea, because not everybody has all the proper tools for this. Hook it on, barely pull up. And remember, I'm going through a board. That's why this is harder. If you have an open wall, which 90% of you guys are gonna have an open wall, boom, there's your wire. Just like that. Go to the other side, screw in the black, and we hook it around. You go in the direction that it screws. So this is gonna go like this, the hook. If you had it the other way, when you tighten it, it's gonna wanna try to back out. Okay, nice and tight on the electrical connection there. Now I'll go ahead and put it back in the box. Make sure we back out these tabs all the way, because I do have a little bit deeper of sheetrock. I'm gonna make sure that it backs out. That way when the wings tighten up, it's actually gonna bite on the backside, right? So here's little wings. So depending, if you have deep sheetrock like me, I basically have double rock here. You back these up all the way to the end. Keep pushing. Just see that goes in very nicely into the wall. Now, we just literally put our drill on these. You'll feel it bite. You don't need to over tighten. You can feel it. Let's make sure this is level. It's not completely level for me at the moment. I kind of need to go up just a little bit. Okay, perfectly level now. So I made my adjustments there. Push down. Okay, felt it bite. Felt it bite. So now we are nice and good. Now this little area right here would be like for your HDMI cords or whatever. I can do that after the fact. I may have to unmount the TV. I probably should put an HDMI in there right now, but I don't have one, so that's okay. Really all I'm looking for is power, because we got Wi-Fi nowadays. I don't plan on hooking anything up to this. It does have that Apple Play Connect and that sort of thing. So great, let's work on the bottom plug. Take this off. You can see it's like an extension cord, right? But the opposite way. So you might say, oh my God, you're gonna get shocked by this. No, because it's back feeding power, right? This has no power yet. If you, well, literally I could like plug that in if I had a ground. But what we're gonna do is that little extension piece. So we'll have this little nice piece right here. Plug this in, snap this stuff all together. It's great. And then we run our screws through. You can see where the HDMI or whatever extra cords you have run through. 632 screws in case you guys are unaware. So that looks like that. This piece is looking like this. Here's how this gets power. You literally just use this cord right here. You plug it in now. All right, and then you're gonna plug this into the wall here. Yep. Cool. All right, guys, so TV is mounted on the wall. You can see it's out right now, so this should be able to push against the wall. Really nice and flush. Oh, Jesus. All right, guys, so if you could see just how thin that is, like look at, that fits totally parallel to the wall, which is so crazy. It looks really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the TV up. I'm gonna get the remote, which is right here. It said like spin the wheel.
Okay, select installation method. The magic remote is connected successfully.
TV.
Language and location settings.
Wow.
Confirm your location and language settings. Language. English. English. Button.
The TV is installed now. There is a slight bit of glare on it from the light back here, so I'll kill that. Yeah, it still has the sticky guy. So let's get that peeled off because that's satisfying. What's cool too is this thing allows you to change. Oh, actually, that's so much better. So much better. Ooh, look at that. Oh, the blacks look so much blacker with that. That's awesome. We can set up the TV. The remote is pretty cool. It seems to work fairly easily. I gotta enter my password for my Wi-Fi and I'll get back to you. All right, so agreeing to the terms and conditions to where it can listen to us for the rest of our life and spy on us. We're gonna say yes. We're gonna select all and we're gonna agree to frickin' everything, man. So there is kind of the picture frame-esque look with the gallery mode. As you can see, it's pretty cool because it gives you like the border. I mean, not like the border of the picture frame literally looks like a picture frame, which is super cool. And it kind of goes in between. Now, something you gotta realize with the LG gallery, and I wasn't 100% sure on this, it's fine, it's whatever. It does cycle through because OLEDs can burn in, right? So that's why it actually cycles the picture and doesn't just sit there. If you got the Samsung frame TV, you can actually just project one picture like for a long period of time. Like you don't have to change it or anything like that. But this is really cool. I think it's cool that it cycles through the art, and you can see that it is like, it's just as thin as any picture frame that you would have on the wall. So like if this thing's posted up, you'd think it's a picture. Very, very cool. Also, if you want to get your mind blown, like turn on one of these channels and you will be mind blown. Now, obviously you're watching this through my little camera here, but extremely bright, extremely realistic. Like, look at that. I'm zooming in on a TV. Like if I were to tell you like, oh yeah, I'm just taking these shots, you know, out at the beach of this eagle. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm zoomed in. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. So we absolutely love the TV. It's really good. It is a bit bright. You know, we have messed with the modes and kind of toned it down, but it can be a bit overwhelming. That's like all new TVs, you know, in a dark space. You probably want to put it on the dark room mode. So I kind of like doing that. Other than that, I've been really happy with the TV. All the integrated stuff like the HBO Max, you know, the YouTube, you got Apple TV, Sling, Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix. You know, if you pay for all these services, they're obviously integrated. And the remote is pretty decent. The only thing I'm gonna give is the remote layout. I don't love where the volume buttons are and the channel button is. I don't ever use the channel button, but the volume button's kind of in a weird spot. It's taken me a while to get used to, and this does not glow in the dark. So getting used to this remote is a bit of a challenge. I was really happy with my Amazon Fire Stick remote, and honestly, I may shove a Fire Stick in the back of this TV literally just to get their remote. Because like this one's cool, but it can be kind of stressful. You're like, I just want to touch the Sling TV, and you're like, your hands out here, you know, and you're like, just maybe that's me being old. I don't know. But anyways, I really like the TV. It's great. Highly recommended. I don't think you guys will be disappointed. 55 is a good size for our area. If you want to go with the 77 or a 65, go ahead. We probably could have done a 65 here, but honestly, it would have been slightly, maybe a little bit too big. I don't know. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I got links down in the description of all the stuff that I used here. It does help out the channel if you click and buy any of that stuff. Those are affiliate links, so I'd greatly appreciate if I helped you out. You can help me out by clicking those and basically purchasing anything. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Later, and wrench on.